What it do, what it do, what it do? It's your boy, Sell It Sell, and we back in here with another episode of Juice to the Legends. And today, we got the beautiful Miss YUMA. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
We doing good, we doing good. So we down here in Prentiss, Mississippi, man. Finna get to know her story, man. Talk to her about her music, her upbringing and everything. So first of all, are you originally from Prentiss?
This my roots. I grew up in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
From Head Start all the way up to high school, and of course college. You break out, and then you come right back home. But even though most people go right back home, I didn't go home to Jackson. I came back to my roots here at Prentiss. So it kind of all started right here, as far as music, tapping into the sounds, the melodies, understanding myself better, and actually, going forward. Like, you can do this. It started right here in Prentiss, Mississippi.
Okay. So what were some of the differences in growing up in Jackson and Prentiss?
The difference is, I would most definitely say, the city life. It's always something to do. It's always somewhere to go. I have kids, so it's very crucial to have something for the kids to do. So in Jackson, it really had an outlet for, the comfort of leaving your house and going 5 lights down and you at, Subway, 5 lights down or 6 lights down and you at the mall. Like, that type. Here, I gotta drive 40 minutes, 45 an hour just to be a part of society. But it's cool. It has its perks. It does. The country life is healing. It's soothing. It's not as busy. You can commute a little bit, to get to where you're going. So it has its perks. But the cons is I'm not right down the street from McDonald's. I'm not right down the street from the mall or Hibby's or, City Trends type vibe. I'm not right down the street. So that's the only thing.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your child upbringing? What kind of kid was YUMA?
Okay. Straight off the bat, let's see. I'm the youngest of 2 older siblings, Rakisha and Javon. Our mother was in a fatal accident when I was an orange baby.
Sorry.
And so my grandmother at the time, she has, other kids. My mother has other siblings. And my Aunt Vita, she resided in Jackson, Mississippi. She took the smallest, which is me, to live with her in Jackson. And Javon and Rakisha stayed with my grandma here in Prentiss, Mississippi, Bassville, Carson, that area, JDC. Even though we were separated growing up, my aunt, who I refer her as my mom, she made sure that I was still connected to my siblings. So on the weekends I was here, holidays I was here, spring break, whatever. Your baby got the first haircut, somebody bought a trampoline, I was always here. I just wasn't predominantly here. But in Jackson, my aunt, she gave me a better life if I'm looking through the scope. That's no shade or anything, but she put me in theater, she put me in dance, professional dance, ballet, jazz, moderate, Girl Scout. She had me very diverse. I've traveled a lot of places thanks to her. I experienced different cultures and ethnicities thanks to her. And just seeing how hard she worked in the city just to provide, we wasn't no silver spoon, we wasn't no riches and, high class, we was, middle class citizens, and we still had struggles, and mama showed me how to overcome them, So the city life versus the country life, it was a difference. I could say it was a difference, a huge difference, but I loved it because the friends that I met in the city, I'm still friends with them to this day. Down here in the country, everybody kind of like, got their own little thing going on, their own routines and stuff. stuff. So I'm really a foreign in my land, if you feel me, you know. So that's the only difference. Everybody here in the country is more, you know, it's inclusive. It's who know who. Mostly everybody you related to. In the city, you know, shoot, if you want to sing, you really know everybody.
Right.
You know, so I liked it that because it was easier to rub elbows. It was easier to know a person's name. It was easier to, you know, see the dynamic of how that person was in the community. Like, everything was just, you know, front, street, in your face, who this person or who, you know, individuals are. The country, it's a house right here, but you probably gotta go 10 miles the other way to see somebody else type vibe. But where I reside, family, we all stay on one, you know, on one turf. I can walk over to my auntie's house, ask for a bag of sugar. I can go to my sister's house and ask for a pot to boil my crab legs in. I can walk to my other sister's house, you know. So family is tight down here versus the city. It was just me and my mama, you know, and our neighbors who became family.
Right. Just another little question before we go into the music. I'm getting north side vibe from you. What part of the city you live in?
Maybe west side.
Okay.
No, play with me.
Program?
West side, Jim Hill, Blackburn, original. You feel me? Like Pecan Park.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that part of Jackson.
Okay.
Arbor Vista Boulevard.
Okay, I see.
North side vibes, baby. I'm a little hood, but you know I clean up well.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
But the music, when did you start getting a liking for music?
All my life I had to fight. All my life, I've actually been surrounded by peers who were actually going to the studio, writing music, letting me hear their stuff, you know, and, you know, asking for my feedback. And I'm like, well, if it was me, I would have did it this way, you know. But I never put myself in the shoes like, you can do it. You coaching them or you helping them, you giving them insight, you can do it, you know. But then you know how life be life.
Right.
And life got to the part where it was life and I had nothing else to fall on but my gifts, you know. So I picked up the pen one day and got the writing. And that's how music took off. Didn't know nothing about bars, didn't know nothing how to make something fit, like didn't know nothing about, you know, listen to music, you know a hook, you know, chorus, you know a verse, you know, but like actually doing it with no instruction, with no guidance, with no mentorship, you know, it's just like, okay, God, just give me the words and I'll write it. And that's kind of where it took off. And at first it started with me being timid, just transmuting my pain, and then it grew like, okay, you need to be relatable, like, let's get out your box, let's do what you do in the house with your sister, turn it up, and let's actually put that on a track.
Right.
And that's how the new song came about, Rosa.
Okay. So who was some of your musical inspiration? What was you listening to early on?
Okay, Missy Elliott, TLC, Maya, Pimp, what is it, Pimp C?
The Pimp.
Yeah, the big Pimp. It's so many. R. Kelly, soul like Erykah Badu, Tweet.
Okay.
That's kind of where it started. The child in the living room looking at the, you know, BET and kind of like, ooh, I'm gonna be like that. That's kind of where it started.
Okay. So what you think you can bring to the game? What you think you bring to the game? It's gonna be different from everybody else.
Sauce, baby, we dripping in sauce.
Okay.
Sauce, I can bring sauce. I can bring originality back, you know. And when I say originality, I'm not talking about, you know, like downing the next artist or what they got going on, but it's all about flavor, putting the substance back into music. And I feel like I still have that 90s feel, flow with the, you know, and little ratchet tendencies, you know, but that's my take on it. That's my take on it. I just feel like I'm more like your 90s laid back, but, you know, at the same time, I can turn it.
Okay. So have you released a full-length project yet, or are you just doing the singles right now?
Well, I have previous projects, and it's really going to show the growth if you know, the viewers will go back and look look at, you know, if they seeing this today and they go back and look, like, they will see the growth. Where I was 2 years ago is totally different where I am now. So if they are going back, it's like, okay, I see, you know, she's trying, you know, she's, you know. But now it's like, okay, I see what the work and the labor has done. So most definitely see my growth, and you'll actually hear the authenticity of my story, my truths. And of course, I branch out from my truths and just, you know, express the living of life, you know. So.
What was the name of those projects, and where can we find those?
YouTube. You have Letter to My Son. That's the first song I ever wrote. First video I ever recorded. Moving Too Fast. I shot that in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
It was a 24-hour gig. Fly in. As soon as the flight dropped, this scene, wardrobe change. It was just like a small crew. It wasn't nothing, no big production, but I actually, you know, did the footwork. All of these things are on YouTube. There's a lot of things, but if you just type in Letter to My Son, YUMA, it'll pop up. The newer music is slow motion. Put It Down. You can also find these on Apple Music, Spotify, mostly all of the major music streaming apps. You can find my music. Just type in YUMA and one of my songs, and the rest will follow.
Okay, YUMA. That's a very distinctive name, right? Is that part of your real name, or
No.
how did you come up with it?
Okay, so when I told you about life be lifing or whatever, like me and God, He set me down. Like Kevin Gates said, shout out to Kevin Gates. He set me down, and we, you know, we had our little talk and our disagreements and, you know, understandings, and YUMA popped up, and I was like, okay, God, what does it mean? You underestimated my aura.
Oh man, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So a lot of people, you know, first meeting me, like, you don't look like a rapper. You don't look like a singer. You don't look like you know how to, you know, get up on a house and fix a pipe. You don't look like you know how, you know, it's just what it looks like. A lot of this new generation is what it looks like.
Right.
Because we are bought on the product,
Right.
and not the substance of the product. You feel me? Like, I go buy some Apple Beats because I know it's gonna last me. But nobody tells me that in 3 years or in 2 seconds I might lose, you know, a piece of that, you know, or it'll corrupt. But just saying, YUMA, you underestimated my aura. And I do feel like in the past and currently, people, you know, sometimes underestimate me, and then when they really see my glory and see my light, it's like, oh wow, substantial,
Right.
you know. So that's I didn't know the power of it. I understood the synonyms, you know, of it, but until I actually walked it and saw it from a different perspective, like, okay, God, I see why you gave me YUMA, because sometimes I even underestimate myself, you know. So let's go.
Okay. So, during this interview, I heard you speak about your kids
Yeah.
a few times. How is it being a mom and balancing your music career all at the same time?
Can we get a coffee break? Oh man, I have two Prentiss. It's Caden, he's an 11-year-old, and I have Kason, he's a 4-year-old. Child, listen, I'm a mama for real. Like, it's never a stopping point. It's always on go.
Right.
Green light, ain't no yellow, ain't no red, it's go. So on the midst of, like I spoke earlier about how I took a 24 flight to Puerto Rico, you know, those moments where you have to make sacrifices, or, you know, have a team in place that'll look after the kids to make sure you can still, you know, do your artistry or your gifts, and also not forgetting about them or making them feel neglected, you know, as well. Like, my kids, we both will go to the studio. All of us will go to the studio, and
Right.
they'll sit there, and I'm in the booth, and they'll just sit there. They love being around my talents, and I'm also seeing, you know, far-fetched that hopefully that this is instilling in them that you can be whatever you want to be. All you gotta do is put the time in, be patient, and just go, keep going, keep going, keep going. If it's your passion, just do it. And that's what I hope I'm showing them, you know. So yes, we still have to do, you know, water park. We still gotta do movies. We still gotta do bowling. I still have to, you know, make sure their everyday needs and wants are, you know. So it is a struggle, but goddamn it, we in this thing.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm happy that they are on this journey with me. So looking back, I hope that they're grateful for all the sacrifices I made.
Okay, I think they are. Speak on your new single, man. I seen you turning up in the whip or whatever. Speak on that, man. How you come up with that?
Okay, so Rosa, put it in reverse, Rosa. Okay, most of the time, when I'm creative, you know, it's either I'm jotting, I'm not writing a whole bad, and I'm jotting, you know. When the beat comes, maybe it's a feat, you know. That's kind of how it works. But sometimes I have, you know, peers who will come through, we'll chill, we'll have a little writing session, and somebody put a beat on, and we just go. Sometimes we don't even write, we just speak and freestyle. And then some stick. And then when some stick, it's like, okay, yeah, we're going to keep this, and we're going to add a little more. Now we're going to take that out. We're going to, you know, so like minds coming together also help Rose, you know. So it was meant to be a free song, you know, that vibe that when you with your, you know, your day one or your, you know, your rounds, you can basically like turn up. And everybody like a little New Orleans bounce, you know, so gotta put that, you know, little sauce in that Mississippi slap to it a little bit. So, you know, I understand the Creole. We ain't gonna take away from the Creole and the Cajun. But sometimes you gotta have a little, you know, season salt.
Right.
You feel me?
Okay.
So that's kind of what Rosa stem from, having fun, just being free, talking you know, popping you, just liberation. I don't want to think about no bill. I don't want to think about how I got to get to baseball and I just got off the clock. Like, sometimes I just want to have that moment where me and my girls can go for mimosas and we can turn up because we leave. Right. You feel, but we ain't got no worries in that moment, that little second, it was liberating. Okay. So I wanted to make a song like that, and that's kind of what Rosa did for me. And we here.
Okay. So right now in the rap game, man, the females winning, man.
Yeah, we're gonna give everybody their props because everybody talking and popping. Do you feel me? So I think women are like coming out of tradition and just really expressing, you know, probably what has not been able to be accepted in expression. Now it's like, forget the acceptance. Let's just do this. Let's just be, because we always, you know, captivated on, you know, not only the image, but I guess how people view us. We can't do this too much. We can't, no, you shouldn't do this. You should, and it's like, it's like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
for sure.
You feel me? So it's like, it gotta be something better out here. And I see the women saying, yeah, it's something better out here, and I'm gonna be the one to make it better. I'm gonna be the voice of reason. I'm gonna be the voice of change, and I'm just gonna, you know, be expressive of how I feel. You know, and close doors when nobody really wanna listen. And sometimes that mic is the person that's listening, so we speak our truth on it. So.
Okay. Do you think it should be a line between how far they turn up, or?
I'm still battling that with myself, like, cause I think about kids, right? You know, and I have nieces and I have nephews, but believe it or not, I grew up with my nieces, like they, you know, like we grew up together, kind of, sort of. So it's kind of like there is kind of like, okay, there is a line, but I'm still fighting with it, you know, cause like I'm looking at it like future references. I can be somebody's idol. Somebody can look up to me. So what I don't feel comfortable with, I'm not going to do. But I mean, it does happen regardless. So I think that's the sensitive part where, you know, they say parent control. If you don't want your child looking at certain stuff, parent control, put that key in, keep it locked, you know. But, you know, I'm still battling with it because I want to be authentic to myself.
Okay. So coming out of Mississippi, man, What do you think is some of the difficulties for artists trying to make it out of Mississippi?
The connections, far as the movement to make the right connections that can get stuff stirred up and going.
Right.
You know, I can go to Jackson State and pass out flyers all day. You know, I can go to, you know, the top name producers, studios and record all day. But does that help me take off? Does it help me, you know, like subtly, like it's good footwork, but, and I can only speak on right now what I know, because somebody else might say, well, I know everybody. But
Right.
I can't say I know everybody in the game. I'm just doing what I'm passionate about. And I'm true to the doctrine. He will sit you in front of great men. He will. You know, your gifts will make room for you. So that's my mindset, that's my philosophy. However long it takes me to get there, oh well, it's for his gratification. But I'm doing this with patience. You know, I'm waiting on those connections with patience, but I'm still turning the wheel. You feel me? I'm not stagnant. I ain't stuck. I'm still giving it what I can give it with what I have, the tools that I have. I'm still giving it. So.
Okay. Speaking on connection, man, how did you meet the Godfather Mellow T?
How did I meet? Okay, so it was a connection. Somebody hit me up and was like, "Yo, now mind you, I did not know Mellow T, the Juke City classic legend. Like I did not know. I think he came a little bit, you know, ahead of me, so I didn't catch that wave. But that's all good because life minds come together somewhere down the path. Somebody hit me up and was like, yo, I got a guy, he's looking for a female artist, you know, he's real popular, he was giving me all his, you know, street creds, he was giving me everything he could, you know, make me feel comfortable with knowing who this man was that he's about to link me in with. And I was just like, okay, all right, you know, like, it didn't really, you know, like, oh my God, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't there like, it was just like, okay, cool, all right. I hit Mellow T up like, hey, or whatever the case may be, this is YUMA. You know, somebody told me he was looking for a female artist. I'm trying to hit you up to see what you're talking about. And it went from there, just straight up like real OG status. He ain't gonna hold you. You know, at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, getting us out here and getting a return. You feel me? Like, it ain't no wasted time no more. You done did that by yourself, let's get on some. And that moved me. I was like, okay, cool. Let me see what you're working with. Don't do too much talking, Mellow T. Let me see this production happen. And ever since then, we kind of been, you know, we on the wave right now. Got me sitting before you. So, hey, hello, shout out to Mellow T.
Okay. So, Young, what you trying to get out of this game, man?
What am I trying to get out of the game? Generational wealth.
Okay.
Like-minded connections, my tribe, be around people, you know what I'm saying? Iron sharpen iron, you know. That's really what, you know, I'm trying to get out of it now. Can't speak on nobody else, but generational wealth and sitting not before, but amongst great men. So, most definitely capital letters.
Okay. So, can you see yourself signing a deal, or you feel like you want to run it up independently and just wait on them to maybe start bidding for you?
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
So let me ask you something off the topic of what we talking about.
Okay.
Keke Palmer
Okay.
and Usher.
Okay.
How would YUMA deal with a situation like that?
Baby, I'm gonna turn up.
You would turn up?
I'm gonna turn up with Usher. What is you saying? I looked at this man coming up. What are you saying? Like, who? You get in front of me and sing your lyric, baby, I'm about to turn around and sing them back. For real, like, I hope my guy at home will understand. Like, like, baby, that was a moment for me. I'm coming back home to you, so hush now. Now, if I went, whatever, but yeah. So he would have to understand, you know, like, no disrespect, but I think she did what any other female would have done.
For sure.
You know, outside of thinking how somebody is gonna feel, or that's a person who's worried about what somebody's saying about them. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna live for the moment. You know, I'm only here temporarily, so I'm gonna make the best of it. But I'm not gonna be a threat to my society. I'm not gonna cause harm to anybody. I'm not gonna hurt anybody. So, not saying I'm not. It's, you know, never can say whatever. But I'm just saying, like, I think she did what any other female would have done. Turn the fuck up.
For sure.
Yeah, for real.
For sure. So what you think about rappers? Not to ask you and keep asking you things about rappers or whatever, but what do you think about rappers putting too much emphasis on street business when it's supposed to be entertainment? Like the big snitching topic that a lot of people speaking about.
See, I don't even get too deep off into it. You know, like, that's shot business. That's what he chooses to do. Like, I don't even get caught up in the riff-raff.
Right.
You know, that's what I call a rabbit hole. I ain't even trying to go that deep off on what that person got going on. Because like I said, when I started, I was transmuting a lot of my pain just to hear it back so I can, you know, that might be his way.
Right.
So I really don't get too caught up on why they rapping like this or why they shaking ass like that. Like, hey, that's them. Whoever gonna gravitate. Whoever ain't, just ain't. You know, long as that person doing them, you know what I'm saying, that's them. You know, live by the sword, you die by the sword. You speak truth, it's gonna come right back. So you gotta be careful what you say. You know, you gotta be careful what you do and how you do it. So, you know, I say that about a lot of rappers. I really don't speak off and get into it like this them.
Right.
And what I do is what I do. You gonna love it or you not. You gonna listen or you not. Like, I'm not gonna stop my motion because somebody don't fuck with me or don't like how I do things.
Right.
So.
Right. So what you think the game missing? Compared to, you know, the glory days, what we call the golden days, the early 90s, the early 2000s. What's the big difference between today's music and the music back then, in your opinion?
A lot. Substance. Yeah, I can hear a song today that's, you know, a top hit, Billboard record. But 15, 20 years down the line, am I still gonna go to that song and play it? Or is it just gonna be sitting in my library holding data space? So I would say most of the substance is right, it's just, you know, short-term gratification.
Right.
Really. When I do music, I'm looking for something long-term, like something I can listen to. I'm depressed today, in 10 years today, I'll be able to listen to that same song and get over that feeling of depression again. You know, or I can listen to this song today and want to turn up and go, you know, hammer, and then 15, 20 years down the road, I can be playing that same song and it have the same feeling, the same, you know, memories, smells, scents, like the whole sensory kicked off again. That substance, you know,
right.
That's the type of music I loved. That's the type of music I am creating and growing and mastering. If that makes sense.
Okay. So if a young lady watching this interview and she looking up at YUMA, man, could you give us some game?
Baby Lisa. You can do whatever you want to do. All you gotta do is be consistent, keep pure intentions, and baby, you can go and do whatever you want to do and be the best version of yourself. Delays and distractions couldn't. All that right there is meant to hem you up so you won't be the better version of yourself. Straight up. Fuck all that shit. Head down. Focus. That's it. If I was talking to a young girl, just straight up. Everything else outside of what you're trying to bring into fruition is a distraction. It's a fucking delay. Get it out of there. That's it.
Okay. So we're trying to get... I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So if any of the fans, subscribers trying to get in contact with YUMA, how do we get in contact with you?
Okay, so as far as artistry pages, listen, YouTube is where you probably want to go because everything else is really it's my life. So I don't have the same name on Facebook that I do on Instagram. Like I'm just gonna be real with you. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I ain't trying to mask like I'm just this artist. I'm a real person out here,
Right.
you know. So on Facebook, you can hit me up at Michelle Undeniable Williams. That's my Facebook, and that is my government name, Michelle Williams. Undeniable is just that little sauce that you put on there, that Mississippi seasoning sauce. Right. On Instagram, it's __ me YUMA. That's where you'll see me. But YouTube is mostly where I post all my content, far as creator wise. But if you just want to know who I am, go follow me on Facebook or Instagram because you're gonna see my everyday. Like I ain't trying to be sauced up on no profile every day. I'm just like this right now, but I'm really laid back, like real Mississippi mud. Like this ain't right now it's a show, but every day ain't no show. I'm on go, I'm in motion, trying to keep the motion. So this just glitz and glam. It's really thug out here for real. So, you find me on Facebook and Instagram, you're gonna see like she act like my cousin. Like dang. It'll be that type of vibe. We ain't trying to do too much, So fuck with me on the whims of the authenticity and solid realness, really. That's what I'm promoting. Just be yourself. Don't wear no masks. Don't be nobody not. Don't fake it till you make it. Like, be yourself. It's gonna come regardless. It's up to you when it's gonna hit.
For sure. Hey, can I put you on the spot?
Go ahead.
Hey, the new single. Can you spit?
Okay.
Verse off of that for me.
Which one? Which part you like?
Whichever one you feel comfortable with. We trying to see.
Lil
Listen.
song, big shit popping, money in there, ass get the dropping, Bados on me, my team is supreme. Be careful with the sparkles, the lights on me, ice on me. If I like homeboy, then we might gon' leave. Send a text to my round, how the night gon' be. I get stupid on that drink and let my dad had a nigga drooling like a dog wishing he had me. Cause I got that water real bad like Miami. If he get a chance to play, he better swing it like you saying me. So I think it's about time for a close-up. Say you got a stick, well pull it out your holster. I might hit the hookah, but really I'm a smoker. Standing in the stage, feeling like I'm Oprah. Parked out front, put it in reverse, Rosa.
Alright. Hey, give me some shout out, man. Give some shout out to your people.
Okay. Shout out first and foremost to Mellow T. Secondly, I want to shout out my babies, Kaden and Casey. Mama proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. Secondly, I want to shout out That's Me though, J-Way. I also want to shout out anybody who supported me, helping me, evolve and growing and being patient with me. Shout out all y'all out. Much love. Like, from the bottom of my heart. So.
For sure. With that being said, it's your boy Silly Cell with Juice City Legends. We check it out.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.